You met someone last week. The conversation flowed. You laughed too easily. You noticed yourself hoping they'd text first. Then, somewhere around day 3, you stopped replying as fast. You made an excuse to cancel. You told yourself you were busy. But the real answer is far stranger. Your brain didn't get bored. It got scared. Not scared of them, scared of what they represent. Somewhere in your skull, an ancient alarm system just went off. And it has nothing to do with modern dating, or friendship, or even logic. It's older than language, older than cities, older than the idea of choosing who you spend your life with at all. Here's the strange part. The people you pull away from fastest are often the ones you like the most. Think about that for a second. Not the boring dates, not the people who annoy you, the good ones. The ones who felt easy, warm, real. Something about that ease is exactly what trips the wire. To understand why, you have to go back about 2 million years to a time when connection wasn't a preference. It was survival infrastructure. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent decades studying the size of human social groups, and he found something remarkable. Our ancestors lived in bands of roughly 150 people, tightly bonded, deeply interdependent. In that world, closeness wasn't a bonus. It was a lifeline. If your group rejected you, you didn't just feel lonely. You died. No food sharing, no protection at night, no one to warn you when the group next door was hunting your territory. So your brain evolved a rule, and the rule was brutally simple. Attachment is dangerous, because loss of attachment is fatal, which means the deeper you let someone in, the more catastrophic it would have been in that ancient world to lose them. Your brain still runs that calculation today. It doesn't know the difference between this person might ghost me and this person's absence might get me killed by predators. To your nervous system, both trigger the same threat response. Psychologist John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, mapped this out in the mid-20th century. He found that humans develop internal, working models of relationships built in early childhood that predict how safe closeness actually is. If your early bonds were unreliable, inconsistent, or painful, your brain doesn't conclude, closeness is good, I should seek more of it. It concludes the opposite. It learns that closeness precedes pain. And once that model is built, it runs automatically in the background for the rest of your life. You don't choose it. You just feel it as a sudden urge to create distance right when things start to feel good. Notice what's happening here. It's not indifference. Indifference doesn't need a defense system. This is something else. This is your brain treating a good thing like a threat, precisely because it's good. There's a name for this pattern. Researchers studying attachment styles call it deactivation. When someone gets emotionally close, a subset of people don't feel warmth build steadily. They feel an internal switch flip. Warmth, then alarm. Presence, then the urge to leave. Psychologists Mario Mikulincer and Philip Shaver spent years running experiments on this exact mechanism. In their studies, when avoidantly attached participants were primed with words related to closeness, intimacy, or dependency, their brains didn't relax. They activated stress responses. Words like love or together produced the same neurological ripple as words like failure or danger. Their minds had learned somewhere long ago that letting someone matter was itself the risky move. So here's the twist. You're not pulling away because you don't care. You're pulling away because you do. The ancient brain doesn't distinguish between I might get hurt and I might actually lose control of my own safety by depending on another person. Both read as the same 5-alarm signal. And the people who trigger it hardest aren't strangers. Strangers are safe. You've invested nothing in them. It's the ones who start to matter who become dangerous, because mattering is exactly what makes loss unbearable. Think about how this plays out in the modern world, stripped of context, stripped of any explanation you'd give a friend. Someone becomes consistent. They show up. They remember small details about your life. Your ancient brain reads consistency as a countdown. It thinks, if I let this person in fully and then I lose them, the damage will be enormous. Better to control the exit now while it's still cheap. This is why so many people describe the exact same paradox. They chase what's unavailable and retreat from what's steady. It feels irrational from the outside. It is completely rational from the inside of a brain built for a world where losing your bonded group meant losing your life. There's a modern mirror to Dunbar's tribal data that makes this even clearer. Researchers studying modern relationship anxiety have found that avoidant responses spike specifically at moments of increasing commitment, not moments of conflict, not when things go wrong, when things go right. The nervous system isn't responding to a bad relationship, it's responding to a good one becoming real. So what do you do with an alarm system built for a world that no longer exists? You start by noticing the moment itself. The urge to create distance right when someone starts to matter isn't a signal that something is wrong with them. It's a signal that your ancient wiring just detected stakes, high stakes, the stakes of actually being known. Every time you feel the pull to retreat from someone who's treating you well, you're standing at the exact spot your ancestors stood, deciding whether closeness was worth the risk of loss. Except now, the risk isn't a saber-toothed cat outside the firelight. It's just the discomfort of being fully seen. You didn't lose interest in that person last week. Your oldest system for staying alive just mistook connection for danger exactly the way it was built to.